Hey, just full disclosure, yes, bitches, but you're being recorded live on the podcast.
No.
Oh,
Is that the people who asked to ride in your car with you?
no, no, that was my client from this morning. It was funny because she was like, "Can I ride with you?" And I was like, "Yes, in theory, but you're not gonna like it. Plus, it might be a biohazard." That car has seen a lot of coffee.
I feel that. A lot of Casey's coffee.
Oh, my Casey's coffee. I love Casey's coffee.
I don't know if I can help you with that.
I'm in my conspiracy theorist costume today.
Very Shane Dawson.
Oh, really?
I'm just kidding.
I remember Shane when he was a child. I was watching him since like 2007.
I
Oh,
know.
he's come
What
so
a
far.
wild time.
I know, right? And then he got canceled like twice. Would you rather your favorite childhood superstar be a child predator or an animal rapist?
Neither. Just for the victim's sake. But I don't know. I don't really have anyone that I obsess over. I don't really care about anyone. Like famous. I mean, I guess no, that's not true. I care about Courtney Love. And
Is she dead?
I care about Robin a lot.
Yeah, somebody has to.
And Lord. I care about Lord a lot. But everyone else, every other famous person, I've got my own problems. I can't be worrying about that.
Who is like your top three like least famous celebrities?
5 least favorite celebrities?
Yes.
Oh, definitely Donald Trump. Not like just for all the dumb shit he's said and done, but just like it's exhausting. It's been almost a decade and it just seems like it never stops.
Donald Trump is a good one. I mean, I don't think it's just difficult to top that.
I'm trying to think of who else. Joe Biden also is runner up, but just 'cause, like, I'm tired of this like news media outlet 24/7 and like how much of a joke it is. It's literally like if you took like 2 people from a nursing home and made them presidents back to back and they just like really didn't know what was going on.
Maybe that's the trick. We should like tape them together and make them one whole president. And then what's his face can kick them out the field. Who was that gay homophobe that did the speech at that university?
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
anyway.
other thing. It's like if someone is very disliked, I'm not going to go out of my way to figure out their tea. Where are you right now? Are you in the attic or downstairs?
I am in the library. There are books here. There are some arts and crafts supplies here. There is some porn here. And I'm here. The house has like 2 doors to the porch, and one of them is in this room. So theoretically, we could like close this off and open an ice cream shop.
Oh, wow. A Star Trek themed ice cream shop.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Who are your least favorite celebrities?
I really don't like. The first one that comes to mind is that one asshole artist, Anish Kapoor. Is that his name?
Poet?
Is he a poet? The guy who did The Bean.
Yeah, that shit is so annoying.
Yeah, I don't like asshole people.
I don't like that type of tea. Like, I'm so tired. Because, like, The Bear came out on whatever fucking streaming thing, and I have to hear about it all the time. Like, I think in, like, one of the, like, most recent episodes, this, like, chick was like, what's an Italian beef in the show? It's like, oh my God, like, shut up. Like, you don't get it. Like, no one from Chicago or living in Chicago would ask, what's an Italian beef? Like, you're telling me a Puerto Rican mom who's lived there for over a decade doesn't know what an Italian beef is or can deduce, like, what that would be? Like, I could understand if she was like, what's mild sauce?
I hate lazy exposition. But you know what my problem with that show is? Is that there are like no Mexicans in the kitchen. Or like maybe I haven't seen it. Because that place should be like 50% Latino.
Right, that's what I'm like, this doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, but to your point, like it's fake. It's obviously not realistic. They're just using
Yeah.
Chicago as a setting, and then people are like, "Oh, I love Chicago because of the show." And those are typically the people who
Right.
don't live there. Two separate people told me the other day, Chicago is like a good city to visit but not to live in. And both times I was like, no, no, that's such a touristy thing to say. Because if that were the case, like 3 million people wouldn't live there.
I guess they kind of have a point because it's like, what? Why do people live here? But because it's just like kind of expensive for no reason. But at the same time, I feel like there's so much traffic to get into the city, it sounds more monotonous to visit than to just live here. If you live here, you can pretty much go like anywhere within like a 10-mile radius, like pretty easily, just because of public transportation. But if you have to drive into the city, it's a lot less fun.
Agreed. I love
But
those
yeah, I
jokes
don't know.
about like, I love the alpha
Like I
male
tried.
jokes.
Go on.
Is there a delay? I love the alpha male jokes that are like, oh, I'm a big tough alpha man, but I'm scared of the city. I can't park my big truck there.
Don't understand the whole I don't know. I guess like people from Iowa think like so many places are dangerous when like they're really not. People think that there's places in Iowa that are dangerous, and I'm like, maybe for like the meth heads, but I think other than that, no. If you're gonna be attacked or killed, it's usually by someone you know. If you're a country bumpkin, you can pretty much go anywhere, and I think you'll be okay.
I agree. The safest passport in the world. That's why I'm dressed like this, because I'm in small town Iowa.
Right. People see you like that and they're like, this guy has no money. We better not rob him.
They see the MAGA looking hat and they're like, oh yeah, wish I knew how to read, but I know that hat.
I thought it said make America gape again.
It should. Yes, make her gape. Wait, no, no volcanoes, Dan. We don't want that.
I know. Yeah, you live in Iowa, not Vanuatu.
My only goal in life is to at least die before the planet. You know, I don't want to be around for the apocalypse. Any variation. No zombie apocalypse, no nuclear apocalypse, no water wars. I ain't doing none of that.
I just want to die before the microplastics like create a cancer within my body that starts to eat me from the inside. I would rather die in like a sudden car crash than like get cancer ever.
Yeah, that one is a scary one.
I don't know how people do it.
I'm so scared I'm speechless.
I know. That's kind of why I have been like going a little more organic. But also the organics brand isn't really that expensive. So I've just been buying like organics everything.
Yeah, well, some might say that it's super easy to get the organic certification or whatever, because like American organic is not purely organic. But whatever, you've heard this spiel before. But it's still better than non-organic.
Yeah, for sure.
But back to your point about dying from the inside out, that's one of my biggest fears. And especially being cooked from the inside out or radiation poisoning. Have you seen the Chernobyl series?
Like on HBO?
Yeah.
I was really into Chernobyl, but I could not finish it because it was so boring.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, point is, dying from the inside out is like one of my worst fears ever, and you just triggered it.
But that would be like a quick death.
Uh,
Some people, like my friend's sister was like dying of cancer for like 5 years and like had a tumor growing to the point where like one of the most rarest forms of cancer that like they don't really even know what to do with, and it was like causing a tumor that was growing, but it like started impeding her ability to breathe, so like she would have to go to surgery just to like block the tumor from getting her windpipe completely blocked. But it's still like then you just have to suffer longer, but like what else are you gonna do?
it's so messed up because it can be so aggressive, but so can the treatments and like elective torture to get better from getting worse.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like, never mind. I just have cancer in the mind because my fucking stomach tea, but I don't have cancer. I think it's fine. But I'm supposed to go see like a stomach specialist, but that sounds like another. I don't understand it. Like, why do we have copays for anything?
No, the insurance mafia is just like weird how it operates. I don't know why we have copays, because they gotta block you somehow, or because it can't be all loss for them. I don't know.
I feel like there should be some sort of law outlining. Okay, so you can't charge people more than X amount, blah, 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 percentage of their actual income or whatever the fuck. But also, like, how are hospitals charging that much money?
You mean for a copay or for like whatever treatment?
Just for like any garden variety visit.
Well, isn't the point of a copay that it's flat?
Yes, but that's what's so like annoying about it is that the monthly premium you pay is probably there just to reinforce like how expensive it costs like to go to any hospital, whether it's like good or not. Even in like an urgent care that can't do basically anything for you still is like so asinine. I spent all Sunday in the hospital, treatment, whatever, and it was just so exhausting.
Wait, you did? Why? Did you get worse? Did you get worse from your
No,
guts?
it turned out to be okay. It just like reminded me of like how awful like healthcare is. But I was like, I don't know if I have internal bleeding or not, so I have to go to the emergency room. But it turned out to be okay.
Good. Oh, maybe you were stressed from patriotism, the fireworks.
It's quite possible. I don't know. Well, that's the thing. Like I don't know. It's a very long-winded, very graphic story. So I don't know if we can tell it on the pod, but I don't know. I was like still kind of waking up when it happened. So I was just like wasn't really paying attention to like what was happening during that time. And then like Sunday, I was like, fuck it.
Dang.
I guess it's tea for another time. But I texted Alex like the Thursday night and then he didn't reply because I like texted him at like 11 p.m. like while we were like drunk. And then he texted in the morning. He was like, oh, not much. Just like blah, blah, blah. But then like just the anxiety from that medical scare, like I haven't texted him back yet.
Aww.
But yeah, I'm trying to stay in contact with him. My brain is always like drifting all over the place. Just thinking like, is this what I should be doing right now?
It's okay. I mean, I think we're close enough that you don't have to text every day. I'm not saying you do, but like, baby's good. He's longtime friend. We can text him in 5 years and we'll pick up just where we left off, right?
True. Well, that's the other thing. It's like I'm on the job hunt.
You're open to work?
Yes. I want to be able to like take time off, paid or unpaid, I don't really care, and actually get paid so that I can afford to go like to the hospital. That is kind of important. And just like I don't know, there was just like a point recently where like my boss was like, what do you mean you've been emailing for 2 hours? Like you need to be doing blank. I'm like, well, I mean, my job is to email people. So I don't really. Then like my manager will be like, why haven't you been emailing these people? Like we need to get this done. So I'm like, why am I doing this for like no money? Such a waste of my time in life.
It's a job to burn out on for sure. I feel ya.
A lot.
What's the dream job? What's Dan's dream job?
I was talking with this to my partner recently, and he was like, if you could do anything, what could you do? And I'm like, okay, like that is such a good question, but that is not inherently realistic to making money and doing what I want. It would be great to make my own hours and work for myself, but to do what? I mean, in this economy, it's like not a laundry list. There's like very few things.
Well, it depends what kind of like what line of business you're trying to go in, what service or product you want to provide. I will disagree that there is a sea of opportunity out there. You just
Like
gotta
what?
find, well, what are your interests? That's the point of the question. If you could do anything, what would you do?
Like I would
It's
like
like
to
you
get
could
back
go
into-
clean windows. That's an easy buck.
I'm
What's
afraid
up?
of
Go
heights
ahead.
though.
Oh, well, okay. So what were you gonna say?
I would like to get back into like production, like film production, but I don't have a lot of on-hand experience as of lately. And that's kind of hard to also like, shadow people to do and like make connections when I can't like take time off from my job. And I guess I could like try to like figure out like weekend slots, but it's also very vexing to try to schedule that within my 9 to 5 brain fog.
Dude, same. I want to get back into production.
But you actually do it, so you could just come here and like do that.
When you say you have no like experience lately, you've been on set before. You know how it works. Like, I mean, I don't think you're unqualified for a set gig. You'll learn it, everyone. You just start from like the easiest position you can find. You can do it, and I can give you tips. I believe in you.
Yeah, I need to just focus and like recenter my whole way of thinking. I think I've just been so lazy the past like couple months just because I got back from like Boston and then I was like, wow, I can't believe I have to go back to work and like do this and like have such a meaningless existence. But I think like your free time is what really kind of enables the value parts of your brain to like be triggered. And if you like don't do anything, of course you're gonna feel like ass. Like if you just sit at home and watch Big Brother, of course you're gonna feel like ass. So I'm just kind of like I'm always weighing like I'm like the scales constantly. I'm not a Libra by any means, but I'm constantly like, I need to be making money moves, but I also just kind of want to just zen out.
You're hired. No, but I get what you mean. And your existence is not meaningless at all because you are more than just what you do from 9 to 5. Like you said, if what you do after work is watch Big Brother, then yeah, you're going to feel like ass. You got to get the creative juices flowing somehow. If you're an artist, which you are. So you should listen to that interview that I sent you because it's exactly about that.
Oh, yeah, I need to.
Literally, like this guy, the guy they're interviewing. So the people interviewing are this like hot couple that I met down there at a production set because they were doing a shoot for NDA. And so now they have this podcast, and this guy they're interviewing, he was like, he didn't go to college. He was like a personal trainer. And then he started doing videos because he was just like into art and creating. And then he grew the audience, and now he's like a fucking influencer. This guy I was talking to, he does the sound for all the Pride events. And he told me his life story. So he used to work he was a carpenter, and he was doing like full-time carpentry and all that. But his real passion was like sound engineering and like what you call it, like traveling production and all that stuff. Every free ounce of time he had, he would like do that. He would like spend all his extra money on like equipment and shit and just like reinvest everything back on his passion. Now all he does is sound stuff. He quit after a few years because he told me his job was like, you're missing too much work to do this thing, so like you're fired. So he was like, okay, great, now I got to do this thing full time. And he just took off from there. And now he's like busy all the time. He brings in more than 6 figures a year. So the line of business is good. I call it the black collar, the production people. Yeah, they're awesome, and they get paid well. Right?
Well, that's kind of what I'm like going on Survivor sounds like such a good ticket because like I probably won't win because I'm like too pretty and popular and interesting, and they'll see that right away. But then I could just hound everybody at CBS, be like, give me a job.
Yeah.
Hello, open your purse, give me a job. No, I'm not coming back for All Stars. No.
Not for that pay.
One and done. Give me a job. Do you want me? Do you want me like that?
Dude, yes.
I've just been pontificating existence since my anxiety-fueled weekend.
And what was the conclusion? Did you learn anything about yourself or the world? Where are you leaning?
I think it's just a reinforcement or return to the sort of tools within reprogramming your way of thinking. And that comes from going and like stopping yourself and being like, okay, this is not actually happening. Like you're not dying of cancer. You're not meaningless. Like you can just get up and do whatever you want at any time. Like you could walk until you can't walk anymore and then end up in the middle of Illinois if you wanted to. Like nothing's stopping you from doing that. So that's very important. And also, there is empowerment within just speaking things into existence, but that doesn't happen if you work from home and just do nothing. I think it requires being a little more bombastic about your intentions than just wishing on a star or whatever. Like, this is the thing. It's everyone has a leg to stand on. Everyone has a leg to stand on. If you go on Survivor, you have the same amount of votes as everybody else.
Unless you have an advantage of some sort.
Yeah, but no one ever uses those correctly, and they usually get voted out for having them. So it's better to not have an advantage because everyone loves the underdog. So especially nowadays, the most popular people on TikTok or like social media because of TikTok are people that are very indie and like undiscovered or underground or like DIYing, which like back in Iowa City, like gosh, this was like 8 years ago. DIY was so huge. Everyone was DIYing things, but I didn't understand what DIY. I was like, that sounds like a Pinterest board. That doesn't sound like a operation, production, or creative venture. But
That's
it
not
kind of
fandom.
is. Yeah, it has sort of been recalibrated as social media trends have really flipped on their head.
When I think of the DIY scene, I think of like the punks and like the music shows, the underground music shows and like those artsy kids. But along the lines of what you're saying, current DIY is more like digital DIY or just high production content. And you know what you're doing. It just looks good. Or what do you mean by DIY? Like arts and crafts or like
No, like what you said, there's so many people who are making music in their bedroom and then it just implodes with success by them uploading it. And obviously that was a thing before TikTok with SoundCloud, but TikTok is very good for just kind of exponentiating that success and sort of, what's that called? Influence or reach, throw, whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Impressions, baby. You gotta get those clicks, those
So
likes.
do as I say, not as I do, listener. Anything can happen.
Literally.
Even if you have one leg, you still have a leg to stand on.
You have a stump. You have a bigger leg.
The first person to ever win Big Brother only had one leg.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
What was the story that he was gonna use the money to like buy a prosthesis or something?
No. I don't remember what he said. I don't think he really said what he was going to use it for. He was, I think, from Boston, so he had a really shitty attitude.
That's inspiring. That should be on a shirt. That could be on our merch. That could be your quote. The first person ever to win Big Brother only had one leg.
Well, I mean,
and then a picture of a chicken leg.
I mean, that would be a good concept for a chicken shop. So maybe that's what our thing should be, like creating really good merchandise for local businesses. Because any iconic business needs a cute shirt. Like we could design something for Oasis and then make their shirts for them. And then that would get the word out, but then we would be pocketing all the cash. Because if people are wearing the funny shirt, Oasis is inherently getting free promo, thus cementing their legacy.
Dude, that's how you hack a collab. That's like reverse sponsorship. You're a genius.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an idea. You quit tomorrow. We start patenting this business process. And then we do exactly what you just said for every single business.
Well, I learned this because I always wear your shirt. And then people always are like, oh my God, that's so cute. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's my friend's. He's like a realtor and we were kind of goth. And they're like, what? That's crazy. Oh my God, I love that. So after like the 100th time, I was like, you could really make a business out of this.
You are an entrepreneur.
But the only bad thing is neither of us are graphic designers.
Well, that's where we can contract one.
That's true.
Well, we can have a business as actually, now that you bring it up, this weekend I'm going to Startup Weekend, Iowa City. And it's like this thing where you get with a group on the weekend and basically everyone gets together, everyone throws out like business ideas that don't exist, right? The pitch is that you're gonna build a business, a startup over the weekend. So everyone's throwing out ideas, they get voted on, the top ideas resurface, and then the people who are interested in working in those ideas go. So then you have like the teams and you do like all your customer research and like identify your your SWOTs and all that stuff, right? You do your startup thingy, and then there's like a pitch competition. You have to create this like, what do they call it, a pitch deck and like all this stuff, it's Silicon Valley in over a weekend. And then you do your pitch and the best pitch wins the prize. And there have been successful businesses, like big businesses, that start this way. So that's what I'm doing this weekend.
Like we could do this for Oasis pro bono, and then if it really takes off, then we have all this, what's that called, cachet to kind of be like, hey ho, look what we do.
And that's the one thing about being, your own boss, is you always got to be on.
True.
If you want, but like, I guess in my line of business, you have to. Or it's expected. But anyway, what were we talking about?
Pitch decks.
Pitch decks. Oh yeah, Startup Weekend this weekend. I'm excited. My first time I went, I pitched the idea of vegan fast food, which is, something I've been thinking about for a while. And it got some interest, but not enough to like go to the next round. And I worked on this one for food. That was like a Tinder for restaurants, basically. And it was fun. It was cool. And then the second time I did it, I ended up working on this like farming land, like rental / kind of like a real estate investment trust for farmland. And this year we'll see.
Like vegan fast food thing, I feel like it is such a good market because my partner he got food from this place called Kill My Name, which is such a stupid name. But a TikToker, I think Tabitha Brown, we invested in it. And so now they have like locations all over the place. But it was so good, and they have vegan ranch and whatever. But the like thing that people I think forget about is that so much of fast food is just like fried food, and like almost any vegetable can be deep fried. We had that and it was amazing.
Kill My Name? It's like fast food?
Yeah. And like one of their huge things is they have these like sauteed kales. I think they steam or boil the kale and then they saute it in garlic and something else. So it's pretty good, but like a huge thing of their menu is just fried like mac and cheese bite, but I guess that'd be harder to make vegan. But there is a market for that for sure. I feel like if they had a drive-through, they would make exponentially more business.
And that's my argument. Like, everybody eats. People love fast food for whatever reason, price, convenience. And if there's a comparable, tasty option, people will go to it because that's how markets work. People are more health conscious, I guess. More people are vegan or vegetarian or whatever. So I totally think there's a market for it. Maybe that's what we should do, Dan. Do you want to go back in the food business?
Maybe. I mean, I think I'm an okay cook. Sounds like a good idea, but it's also risky, I think, because so many restaurants end in just catastrophic failure.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to really get off the ground, I think. I'm not sure.
It doesn't have to. But that's, location's important. But my thing is, I think a lot of restaurants go under it's because they have like serving space, and the space is what's expensive. And like you say, it can take a while to get off the ground. So like you're burning all this money on empty seats, you're not making any money, you have food going bad. I think if you have if you're delivery based, which is already a thing, that was a concept proven. The ghost kitchens exist now. So if you do that, it may not be that bad. And if you have a drive-through, like you just said, you're set. You just need to make a good product.
It'd be like scooters mixed with Gumbies almost, but make it vegan.
Yeah, exactly that.
But also, people always forget French fries are vegan. There's nothing not vegan, and they're also gluten-free.
Yeah.
It's just a fried potato.
Yeah, see, we can have better French fries at our place. McDonald's French fries, count your days.
And if you get vegan sauces, vegan ranch, then the hose will be just around the block.
Yep.
You need like a net to catch them all.
We will. We're going vegan. That is a challenge of mine. But first, I have to try every burrito in Iowa City.
I feel like that shouldn't take that long.
There are a ton of burrito places around here, surprisingly. Like, there are at least 30 places to get a burrito, which is not a lot, but it is.
There are some pretty good burrito places in Iowa City for some reason. I think that Iowa City is really out burritoing Chicago, to be honest.
I mean, you can get a burrito at like any Mexican restaurant, right? And Chicago has more than Iowa City, obviously. But as far as like iconic burritos, and of course I can't speak for every restaurant, every Mexican restaurant, but I feel like the ones I've had here each have their own identity.
Yeah, that's so true. But here it's more just, I don't know. It's not even like that. I feel like they're also kind of catering towards tacos, but also sides. Whereas Iowa City is like, no, bitch, you get a burrito, you go home. We make it here, just pick out what you want and leave. Okay?
And that's my favorite, you know? It's like, here's your food, go eat it now. Here's your slop, slurp it.
Mm-hmm.
Just a burrito specialist, no sides.
Yeah. I mean,
it's inside a burrito. It's a smaller burrito.
Right. That's
Chimichanga.
true. But that's it's true. I think I've just been so spoiled by Chicago and all the great food here. But also the one time we dropped acid and then I ate those beans and chilaquiles and then I was like, burritos are nothing. Rice and chilaquiles are my new best, or beans and chilaquiles are my new best friend.
Wait, where was that?
This was at your place, at your first condo.
Did I make them?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was really slop.
Chilaquiles are slop.
Not always. Sometimes they are crunchy, crispy, but that is, that's a whole thing in itself. But this was at 1 a.m. and we were in your kitchen and you cut up some tortillas, threw them in the oven and poured salsa over them like cereal. And I was like, very good smoothie.
I love chilaquiles. That's like the top tier food right there.
Yeah.
You can make a burrito out of them, which is like really weird because it's a tortilla burrito.
That's a lot. That's okay, but that's the one umbrage I had with tortillas. It's just there's so many calories in one tortilla.
Are there? Didn't we look this up?
At least 300, I think.
It can't be.
Yeah, bitch.
Wait, we need to check this. So there was like 100 some. Well, I guess it depends on the size too. Let me look.
That's true.
One serving is 467 calories. 100 grams is 237 calories. How much is that?
How much is one tortilla?
I don't know.
Oh, certainly not skinny. Who cares about that?
It says here that a flour tortilla is 63 grams, 58 grams. Corn tortilla is 26 grams.
You could just look on a package, like anywhere.
I don't think they're that high calorie. They are high carb. And they are calories.
True.
But,
I'm assuming the flour ones are the high calorie.
Yeah, they would be. I don't know, though. I'm no tortilla expert. We'll answer this question next episode.
What is it about, like, corn products and, like, corn tortillas that taste... Or, no, not taste. Smell like paw pads. Like dog and cats like paws. They like smell like corn chips.
So there is this ingredient they add to corn tortillas. It's like, I don't know the name of it in English, but it's this like calcium thing. And like they soak the beans in it and it has like that unique weird smell. That's why like authentic corn tortillas are different from like the corn tortillas you buy at like Walmart. The actual fried ones. It's that.
That makes sense. It's like how truffle oil isn't actual like truffles. It's like butthole pheromones or something. I don't remember.
Are you thinking of vanilla?
What? Vanilla?
There's like vanilla substitutes that come from. They have castor oil or something castorial, and it comes from a beaver's butthole. Yeah. Maybe that's an internet rumor. I don't know. No, I thought it was verified fact that glands in beavers' buttholes make vanilla extract.
Okay, that made me think of ambergris, but then I was like, wait, that's a great drag name, ambergris.
Who's
And
ambergris?
it just means whale throw up.
What? Will
Yeah,
throw up?
whale throw up.
Oh, really?
Whale puke, ambergris.
That is a great drag name now that you explain it.
That's what they used to make perfume out of.
Oh, really? So it smells
Yeah.
good?
You know, I've always wondered why they use whale puke in perfume.
We all heard growing up that they used skunk piss in perfume too.
Oh, well, I guess it could be an urban legend, an old MILF's tale.
Hmm.
Um,
Or I thought then later when I brought it up, someone was like, "That's fake," or maybe they said they like synthesized things in skunk piss to like make the
mm.
perfume stick longer. Some explanation that made sense, and that's why I believe every conspiracy theory that makes sense.
They're like, it's not actually like that. We put the skunk piss in a centrifuge and then we take out the good part.
The sticky part. Bruh, are you on slime TikTok?
No, but I follow someone on Twitter who has a slime fetish.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I
Wait,
know
do you?
exactly who. Yeah, the slime boy. Yeah.
In Seattle?
Ooh, I don't know, but I can show you later.
Yeah, send it to me. Send it to me, Rachel.
Yeah,
Send it to
yeah.
me now. I would love to know, like, where did this? I mean, it probably came from Nickelodeon, obviously,
Yeah.
but what about that is so appealing? Yeah, I have a lot of questions,
Yeah, we should
and
have him on the pod. I know exactly who you're talking about. He's like kind of buff, but not like super cut.
yeah,
Yeah.
he has like kind of short brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Home. Our mutuals.
Mm-hmm. Oomph.
Ooms.
I love studying people's weird psychological deficiencies. Like one time I like freshman year of college, I had this like straight friend who was obsessed with drugs and was always on the dark web, like trying to find like the newest drug. And I talked to him like me and Luke were talking about poppers one day. He's like, poppers? I've read about those. And then ever since that, I was like, that I read about those. What a great phrase. So funny. For no reason. Can you tell it's getting dark by how grainy I am now?
I can't see anything because I'm not wearing my glasses. But it is getting dark. You need a ring like the one I have right here,
Oh yeah.
which was a
I
gift
do.
from Alex.
Love Alice. His name isn't Alice, but he'll keep looking for Wonderland.
Oh. Wait, did you get a new camera?
No. It's just on my gaming laptop. I want to rock right now. I don't want to stop. I want to get down.
Oh, the Olympics. We should say shit about the Olympics.
Olympic volleyball, I am obsessed with. I will be watching so vehemently that no one will be on the same level as I am. I am into it. I love to watch every single game for the United States. But that's the weird thing, and people have talked about this online, is that my patriotism only unlocks for the 3 weeks that the Olympics take place. But it's so true. I'm like, if these Brazilians beat us in volleyball, I'm never gonna live it down. But I don't know why I think like that, because no one else watches volleyball except for me.
Well, I'm excited with you.
You need to. Okay, so I watch indoor and outdoor, men's and women's, and sometimes the outdoor men's and women's have 2 teams each, so there's a lot to keep up with.
Dang.
But the good thing is that the US does not usually win it, which is the fun thing.
Really? As
So
a
you
team?
can be competitive about it because it's, it's a global sport like soccer. You never know. Everyone has a leg to stand on in volleyball.
Yes. Oh, do they play volleyball at the Paralympics?
It's a great question. Maybe, probably.
Everyone has a ball to bounce.
Yeah.
Everyone has beach volleyball.
Yeah.
This comedian I knew had this joke that was like, even Al Qaeda had volleyball.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. It's the sort of dichotomy between indoor volleyball and beach volleyball is so fascinating to me because beach volleyball is so much more cardio based, whereas like indoor volleyball is much more like strategy and rotation. But it's kind of weird to think about because so many parts of like a majority of the United States is not coastal. So where are these people playing beach volleyball at? And isn't it weird that we like bring sand into the middle of like grass to play this?
Yeah. The Iowa City downtown district did that 2 years ago.
I would never play because I'm too shy, but I'm always like, wow, I wish that was me.
I can't take the beating, dude. Those balls are hard, and like my wrists are too limp. I would just break both hands the first rotation or whatever.
Well, so that's the thing. You're not supposed to like hit it. You're supposed to go. It's like
it's my form.
And you're not supposed to hit it. You're just supposed to like jump up a little while you bump it.
It's me.
So, well, that's the thing. Like, we won. Like, we were the best team in the state in high school. So I learned a lot from watching that because I was the photographer, like doing all the action shots. And then I was down the rabbit hole.
Whoa. Dude, did you like that? Did you like the action shot photography?
Yeah, it was great. I got a press pass. I was on the floor. I never got in trouble because I knew where to be.
Okay, you do me a favor and definitely listen to that podcast that I sent you.
I need to. I've been meaning to. I told Isaiah about it.
Yeah, you're gonna relate to it because that guy was also started out in like sports stuff. So you have a creative outlet. Anyway,
I can't wait to not watch soccer. I mean, water polo. Like,
oh, that sport's insane.
It's crazy.
There's so many like obscure sports that is like
some of these sports vile.
Like, isn't breakdancing an Olympic sport?
The experimental gymnastics.
That's interpretive dance.
And then they like do it like one flip. I'm like, where's the money shot? Like, what are you doing? You're doing nothing. You're an embarrassment to our country and you should be executed. Electric chair.
Electric water polo pool.
Yes, we throw a toaster in there to vilify all the losers.
Oh.
I wonder if that's what Russia does.
I can't wait to not go to France.
Oh, is it in France?
Yeah.
Wow.
Paris of all places.
Ugh.
I know. How are they? Can they fit that many people?
Yeah, but it probably won't be fun for them. Really stinky, covered in piss, trash.
Oh, I need to
rude people and their annoying little voices.
Sure, like the action's gonna be far from the historic town. Like Paris can't be all old buildings, right?
No. I don't know. It's a mess.
I like how there's usually like a big, what you call it, like everyone's hyping up like the architecture of the Olympics and like this brand new stadium and all these like fun facilities that are being built for this event, and like Paris hasn't said anything. Paris is getting shit on for not providing air conditioning. And they're like, we have a tower. What more do you want? I don't know. A new stadium?
Okay, this is the thing. You do not need a new stadium, new whatever the fuck. Because, like, we just had these Summer Olympics in Rio not even 20 years ago, and that shit is already dilapidated. All that concrete poured, all that nature wasted, it's getting weird.
You are right. Like, I realized as I was saying that exactly what you said. It's very wasteful to build brand new facilities. I just like the new buildings.
I guess, I don't know. If they actually use it, then fine, but it should be public access and it should be full of free art that they pay the artists for. I think what Summer Olympics did we have in the United States recently? I think it was Salt Lake City or Los Angeles. And I'm pretty sure those venues are still being utilized.
Well, America has a more like sports watchy culture. I feel like in a lot of countries that's just, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak up for all countries, right? But like,
yeah, But Beijing always does really well in indoor volleyball. Yeah, I think their stadiums are kind of dilapidated as well now, which doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, the one that looks like a toilet seat, I think, is still in use.
I don't know. It's so hard to remember some of these.
I remember all the Chinese ones: the toilet, the freaking bubble wrap building. I guess that's all. And their new like center for the performing arts is really cool.
Oh wait, I think I do remember like some like really cool architecture coming out of that. So maybe they do still use it.
Those three, at least, I think.
Yeah, I think maybe like they just kind of discard some of like the ones that no one really cares about there, which I guess is understandable, but it's still like, well, what now?
Invent a new sport.
Like at least tear it down and put something up there if you're not going to use it.
Yeah, student housing.
Right.
My last words are yippee.
Well, yes.
Sorry. No, my last words really are be careful out there, because there's a lot of crazy people out there. And tell your friends about our podcast and watch the next episode right after this one. There's always a little nugget. Like Dan says, everyone has a leg to stand on, and everyone has something to learn from our show.
Very true. I can't wait to recap the Olympics.
I know, right?
I really get on the edge of my seat. This isn't a bit. I really am like white knuckling it while I'm watching it. I remember so many names of volleyball players from over a decade ago from the Olympics.
Yes.
Destiny Hooker and Faluk Akinradawa, two of my favorites.
Wow. Destiny Hooker?
Yes.
Amazing.
She was so fierce. Oh.
You're like Abby from Broad City when she gets competitive.
Yes, literally though.
I love it. I love it. Can't wait to see it.
Now I'm really riled up.
Go watch some clips.
Go
watch some volleyball clips and like hit a ball or something.
I didn't watch the last Summer Olympics because they were rescheduled. So I'm like, this is not, I'm not fired up. I'm not amped. I'm not like.
Yeah.
But now I'm like all cylinders on or whatever. Firing on all cylinders.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, now I'm fired up. We're going to do it.
Okay, but I look like I'm in the ring, so I think we should. Okay.
All right. Say hi to Samara for me.
I will. Say good night, Rick.
Good night.